The year was 2387. Earth was busy that day. Ships filled the sky like metal clouds. Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the command deck of the UES Liberty. He watched thousands of human ships getting ready to leave. This was not a normal day. This was the day humans said goodbye to their home galaxy forever. Captain Lisa Thompson worked at her control station. She read reports from all over human space. Her face was calm, but inside she felt sad. They were leaving everything behind. "Sir, all the family ships have left the solar system," she said to Morrison. "The military ships are protecting them. They are all safe now." Morrison nodded. He had gray hair and tired eyes. He had been a soldier for 40 years. He never thought he would see this day, the day when humans had to run away from their own galaxy. The trouble started long ago. The Galactic Council controlled most of the galaxy. They had rules for everything. At first, humans tried to follow these rules, but the Council kept making new rules, harder rules, rules that made it difficult for humans to live freely. The Council said humans were too violent. They said humans could not be trusted. They said humans made too much trouble. For 30 years, the Council made life harder for humans. They told humans where they could live. They told humans what jobs they could do. They told humans what ships they could build. Commander Ryan Brooks was Earth's ambassador to the Council. He was a smart man who could speak many alien languages. For years, he tried to make peace with the Council. He asked them to be fair to humans. He asked them to give humans the same rights as other species. But the Council did not listen. Last year, they made their worst demand yet. They told humans to give up all their weapons. They told humans to let Council soldiers watch over all human worlds. They wanted to control everything humans did. Ryan Brooks stood up in the Great Council chamber that day. Hundreds of alien species watched him. The chamber was huge and made of white stone. It was built to make visitors feel small and unimportant. "The human race has an answer to your demands," Brooks said. His voice was clear and strong. "We say no. We choose to be free. We choose to leave rather than be slaves. Goodbye." The aliens in the chamber made strange noises. Some laughed. Some seemed angry. Many seemed confused. No species had ever left the galaxy before. No species had ever chosen to run away rather than fight or surrender. The Zephyrians were a smart species. They could predict the future using math and computers. Their leaders said there was a 97% chance that humans would change their minds. They said humans would come back and say sorry. The Karathi Empire was powerful and mean. They had already decided which human worlds they wanted to take. They thought humans were weak and would give up easily. All the alien species were wrong about humans. Back on Earth, Morrison activated his communicator. Every human ship in space could hear his voice. 50,000 ships carried 12 billion humans. These ships held everything that mattered to the human race. Their families, their books, their art, their history, their dreams. "All ships, this is Admiral Morrison," he said. "Start the Great Exodus. We are going beyond this galaxy. We are going where they cannot follow us. We are going where they cannot hurt us. Today is not the end of humanity. Today is the beginning of something new." The human fleet was amazing to see. There were huge ships carrying entire cities. There were smaller ships carrying single families. There were warships to protect everyone. There were science ships full of human knowledge. There were factory ships that could build anything humans needed. One by one, the ships activated their faster-than-light drives. Blue light filled space as the ships jumped away. They were not going to another star system. They were not going to another part of the galaxy. They were going to the empty space between galaxies. They were going to the dark void where no other species had ever traveled. The alien species watched this happen. They used their telescopes and sensors to track the human ships. They saw the humans disappear into the black emptiness between the stars. Many aliens felt confused. Some felt worried. A few felt sorry for what they had done. On the planet Karathi Prime, General Vex looked at his war maps. He had planned to conquer human worlds easily. Now there were no human worlds to conquer. The planets were empty. The space stations were empty. Even the asteroid mines were empty. Humans had taken everything with them. "Where did they go?" asked his assistant. "Into the void," Vex said. "Into the place where nothing lives. They will die out there in the cold and dark." But Vex was wrong. Humans were good at surviving in impossible places. They had survived ice, ages on Earth. They had survived in the deserts and oceans. They had survived in space and on dead planets. The void between galaxies was just another impossible place for humans to make into a home. As the last human ship disappeared, something strange happened in the galaxy. Trade became slower. New inventions stopped appearing. Art became boring. Music became simple. The galaxy had lost something important, but most aliens did not understand what they had lost. They had lost the humans, and they would not understand what that meant until the humans came back. 50 years went by. Life in the galaxy continued without humans. Most aliens forgot about them. They thought humans were gone forever. The Karathi Empire quickly took over the empty human worlds. General Vex was happy at first. He sent his soldiers to human planets. He built mines to dig up valuable metals. He thought he had won a great victory. But something was wrong. The human machines did not work for aliens. Human computers would not start. Human factories stopped making things. Even human houses seemed cold and empty. It was like the planets themselves missed their human owners. The Vaxian collective took control of the old human trade routes. These aliens were good at business and moving cargo between stars. But without humans, trade became slow and boring. Human traders had always found new ways to move things faster and cheaper. Human ideas had made trade exciting and profitable. The Council was pleased with itself. They said they had removed the troublemakers from the galaxy. They called humans the chaos makers, and said the galaxy was better without them. But deep inside, some council members felt worried. The galaxy seemed quieter now, less creative, less alive. Dr. Elena Rodriguez was a scientist who studied old ruins and forgotten technology. She was part of a team exploring the abandoned human research station on Kepler 442b. This was one of the secret human labs that humans had built far from alien eyes. Elena was amazed by what she found. The human machines were far more advanced than anyone had known. She found energy sources that should not exist. She found computers that were 50 years ahead of current alien technology. She found manufacturing tools that could build things at the atomic level. "Look at this," Elena told her research partner, Dr. Marcus Webb. She showed him a human power generator. "This machine makes more energy than it uses. That should be impossible according to our physics." Marcus studied the device. He was a smart alien, but the human technology confused him. "The humans were hiding their real science from us," he said. "They let us think they were simple and primitive, but they were actually more advanced than any species in the galaxy." Elena wrote detailed reports about her discoveries. She sent them to the Council Science Division. She warned them that humans had been much more powerful than anyone realized. She said the Council should be worried about what humans might do with 50 years to develop their technology even further. But the Council ignored her reports. They filed them away and forgot about them. The Council leaders were busy with other problems. The Vorth Swarm was expanding into new star systems without permission. The Teklan Republic was building illegal weapons. The usual troubles of running a galaxy with 1,000 different species. Then something strange started happening. Ships began appearing in Council space. These were not ships from any known species. They came from the dark, empty space between galaxies. The same dark space where humans had disappeared 50 years ago. The ships were beautiful and terrifying. They looked like they were made of liquid metal and starlight. They moved without making any sound or heat. They appeared on sensors for just a few seconds, then vanished like ghosts. No one could track them or communicate with them. Captain Alex Turner commanded the exploration ship Far Horizon. He was one of the few aliens who had worked with humans before the Great Exodus. He had learned to recognize human patterns and human ways of thinking. When he saw these mysterious ships, something familiar clicked in his mind. The ghost ships moved like human ships. They used human tactics. They avoided patrols exactly the way humans would avoid them. Even though the ships looked alien, their behavior was definitely human. "Computer, show me the movement patterns of the unknown ships," Turner said to his ship's artificial intelligence. The computer displayed a three-dimensional map. It showed how the mystery ships had moved through Council space over the past month. Turner studied the patterns carefully. He had seen this before. These were human scouting patterns, human reconnaissance tactics, human intelligence gathering methods. Turner called his second-in-command, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Bell. She was young and had never met a human, but she was smart and good at analyzing data. "Sarah, look at these ship movements," Turner said. "What do you see?" Sarah studied the display. "They seem to know our patrol schedules perfectly. They avoid our ships like they have our complete military database. But that's impossible. Our security is perfect." Turner smiled sadly. "Not if you're human. Humans always found ways to get information that should be impossible to get. They were the best spies and scouts in the galaxy." Sarah looked confused. "But humans are gone. They left 50 years ago." Turner shook his head. "No, Sarah, I think the humans are back. And if these ships are any indication, they're not the same humans who left." Turner was right to be worried. The ships continued to appear throughout Council space. They watched alien military bases. They studied alien technology. They gathered information about every species, every planet, every weakness the galaxy had developed in 50 years without human oversight. The aliens did not know it yet, but they were being studied by their former victims. And the humans who were doing the studying had become something far more dangerous than the humans who had been driven away. The galaxy's fears became real when the message arrived. It came to every world at the same time. Every space station received it. Every military base heard it. The signal went through all security systems like they did not exist. It appeared on every screen in the galaxy. A human woman appeared in the transmission. Her name was Kate Phillips, and she called herself a captain. But she did not look like the humans the aliens remembered. Her eyes were strange. They seemed to hold starlight inside them. Her voice had sounds that made aliens feel scared and amazed at the same time. Behind Kate, aliens could see technology that made their best science look like children's toys. Machines that bent space and time. Computers that seemed to think with the power of entire stars. Walls made of materials that shifted and moved like living metal. "People of the Milky Way galaxy," Kate began. Her voice was calm but powerful. "This is Captain Kate Phillips of the Human Stellar Confederation. We are speaking to you from our ships. Our ships are positioned all around your galaxy right now. We have returned, but we are not the same humans who left 50 years ago." The IE message showed pictures that made alien scientists question everything they knew. Human cities floating in empty space between stars. These cities were powered by energy taken from dark matter itself. Fleets of human ships that numbered in the millions. Each ship was larger and more advanced than the biggest alien battleship. But the most shocking thing was the humans themselves. They had changed. Some humans looked normal but moved in ways that defied physics. Others glowed with inner light. Some seemed to exist in multiple places at the same time. They had become something between flesh and living energy. "For 50 years we have grown beyond your understanding," Kate continued. "We have learned from civilizations that are older than your recorded history. We have mastered sciences that exist in the spaces between realities. We have become the guardians of entire galaxy clusters." The pictures changed to show the scope of human expansion. They had not just survived in the void between galaxies. They had thrived. They had built vast networks of stellar engineering projects, ring worlds that surrounded entire stars, sphere-like structures that captured all the energy from black holes. Human civilization now spanned dozens of galaxy clusters. General Sam Miller appeared next to Kate in the transmission. Where Kate represented human scientific achievement, Sam showed their military evolution. His body rippled with energies that alien sensors could not identify. Behind him stood human soldiers who looked more like walking legends than normal people. We return because this galaxy faces a threat you cannot understand, Sam announced. His voice was hard like steel but warm, like fire. The Devourers are coming from beyond the cosmic web itself. We have fought them across 17 galaxy clusters. We know their nature. We know their weaknesses. We know their endless hunger. The transmission showed images of the enemy. The Devourers were creatures of living darkness. They existed in the spaces between atoms. They fed on the basic forces that held reality together. Where they passed, stars did not just die. The stars were erased from history itself. Planets were not destroyed. They were edited out of existence. The Devourers consume everything, Sam continued. They do not just eat matter and energy. They eat the very idea of existence itself. They turn reality into nothingness. We have learned to fight them, but the cost has been enormous. The aliens watching the transmission felt true fear for the first time in centuries. The Council had thought their biggest problems were trade disputes and border conflicts. They had no idea that something like the Devourers existed. Kate Phillips appeared again. Her expression was serious but kind. We remember our birthplace. We remember the species who live here. Some of you treated us badly, but we do not seek revenge. We seek to protect life itself. The transmission showed human technology in action against the Devourers, human weapons that fired bullets made of crystallized time, missiles that existed in quantum superposition until they hit their targets, energy beams that attacked the fundamental concepts their enemies were based on. It was warfare beyond anything aliens had imagined. We give you coordinates now, Sam Miller said. These are safe zones where you can gather your fleets and your people. We will teach you what we can. We will share what technology you can understand. But know this, the old ways are over. Kate nodded. The Galactic Council that drove us away no longer has the power to govern a galaxy under threat. We are not here to rule you. We are here to save you. The choice of how to use this chance is yours. The transmission ended with a simple message that appeared in every alien language. Prepare yourselves. The Devourers will arrive in 18 months. Humanity remembers its origins. We will not let our birthplace fall to the void. When the message ended, chaos erupted across the galaxy. Some aliens were terrified of the returning humans. Others were amazed by human technology. Most were confused about the threat that was coming. The Council held emergency meetings. Some members wanted to attack the humans immediately. Others wanted to surrender and beg for mercy. A few wise members realized that humanity was offering them salvation, not conquest. Captain Alex Turner sat in his command chair and smiled. He had been right. The humans had returned. But they had returned as something far greater than anyone could have imagined. The species that the galaxy had driven away had become its only hope for survival. In the depths of space, human ships began appearing around major alien worlds. They did not attack or make demands. They simply took defensive positions and waited. The message was clear. Humanity was back, and this time, they were the protectors. The Devourers arrived exactly when the humans said they would. They came 18 months after the warning, moving through space like a wave of pure darkness. These creatures were not made of matter like normal beings. They were made of nothingness itself. They existed in the empty spaces between atoms and fed on the forces that held reality together. The first Devourer scouts hit the outer rim of the galaxy. Where they passed, stars did not just die. The stars were completely erased from existence. It was as if they had never been born. Planets disappeared not just from space, but from time itself. Even the memory of these worlds began to fade from alien minds. The Council had gathered their greatest fleet at the coordinates humans had provided. Admiral Zex of the Karathi Empire commanded 2,000 of their most powerful warships. General Thane of the Vaxian Collective brought 1,000 of their fastest attack ships. Even the peaceful Andronian Federation had sent their defensive fleet. All ships, this is Admiral Zex, the Karathi commander announced over the fleet communications. We will show these Devourers the power of the Galactic Alliance. All weapons, prepare to fire. The alien fleet attacked first. They used every weapon they had developed over centuries of warfare. Energy beams that could destroy planets, missiles that could crack moons in half, plasma cannons that burned hotter than stars. The aliens threw everything they had at the approaching darkness. Nothing happened. The weapons simply vanished when they touched the devourers. The energy beams disappeared into the creatures' dark forms. The missiles stopped existing the moment they made contact. Even the light from the plasma cannons was swallowed by the advancing void. Then the devourers attacked back. They reached out with tendrils of pure nothingness. Entire battle groups of alien ships simply stopped existing. The crews did not die. They were erased so completely that other aliens forgot they had ever lived. Whole species began disappearing from galactic records as the devourers consumed their essence. Admiral Zex watched in horror as half his fleet vanished. "All ships retreat," he ordered. "Fall back to the secondary defense line." But before the aliens could escape, space itself began to change. Massive shapes emerged from hyperspace around the devourer fleet. These were human ships, but they were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Ships the size of small moons. Vessels that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at the same time. Craft that looked like they were built from crystallized starlight and solid mathematics. Admiral Katie Morrison appeared on every alien ship's communication screen. She was the great-granddaughter of Jake Morrison, the admiral who had led the Great Exodus 50 years ago. But where her ancestor had been merely human, Katie had become something far more magnificent. Her body flickered between flesh and pure energy. Her eyes held the depth of entire galaxies. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that made reality itself pay attention. "All Council forces, this is Admiral Morrison of the HSC Transcendence," she said. "Fall back to the coordinates. We are sending you now. We will handle the devourers." The human fleet moved forward to engage the enemy. Their weapons were beyond anything in known science. They fired projectiles made of crystallized time that aged their targets into nothingness. They launched missiles that existed in quantum superposition, hitting their enemies in multiple realities simultaneously. They used energy beams that attacked the very concepts their foes were based on. But the humans had evolved beyond simple technology. Captain Nick Rogers phased his body through devourer attacks that should have erased him from existence. His consciousness had expanded beyond the need for a single physical form. He fought the creatures of void with weapons made of pure thought and will. Commander Amy Foster wielded energies that rewrote the laws of physics in local space. She made the devourers vulnerable by changing the fundamental rules of reality around them. Where she pointed her hand, the creatures of nothingness suddenly became something that could be destroyed. Lieutenant Dan Collins had transcended the need for a ship entirely. His consciousness moved through space itself, existing as a pattern of living information. He struck at the devourers from inside their own void forms, attacking them from dimensions they did not know existed. The battle lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. The human fleet suffered no losses. Their evolved nature made them immune to the devourers' reality-consuming attacks. But more than that, they fought with a coordination that spoke of shared consciousness and unified purpose. When the last devourer, Scout, was destroyed, its essence scattered across dimensions where it could never again threaten existence, Admiral Morrison opened a channel to the watching alien fleets. "The immediate threat is over," she announced, "but the main devourer fleet is still coming. It will arrive in approximately 10 years. We will remain to prepare this galaxy's defenses." She paused, and when she continued, her words carried the weight of cosmic truth. "But understand this clearly. The old order is finished. Humanity has evolved beyond your ability to govern or control us. We are no longer citizens of this galaxy. We are its guardians." The transformation began immediately. Human ships took protective positions around every major world. They came not as conquerors but as protectors. Human scientists shared technologies that advanced alien civilization by thousands of years overnight. Diseases that had plagued species for millennia were cured in days. Energy problems that had limited expansion were solved with human power sources. Human diplomats now beings of expanded consciousness who could exist as pure thought when they chose established new frameworks for cooperation between species. The old council system of control and domination was replaced with networks of mutual aid and shared knowledge. The galaxy that had once feared humanity's chaos now depended on their transcendent order. The species that had driven humans away now begged them to stay, and humanity, having grown beyond the need for conquest or revenge, simply did what they had always done best. They adapted, they protected, they prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. In the depths of space, monitoring stations detected the first signals of the approaching main Devourer fleet. But for the first time in galactic history, an entire civilization faced possible extinction. Without despair, they had guardians now. They had humanity. And humanity had learned to be more than human while never forgetting what it meant to care for others. The exodus was over. The return was complete. The real story of humanity's place in the cosmos was just beginning.